Welcome to this explainer. Look, today we're completely dismantling the myth of what leadership actually looks like. We aren't going to sit here and talk about vague, fluffy, motivational concepts. Instead, we're using Cristiano Ronaldo purely as a mechanical case study. We're talking about a player who hasn't just broken individual scoring records, but who has repeatedly, fundamentally reorganized the psychological state of entire squads across multiple top-tier leagues. We're going to break down his on-pitch presence to understand the exact mindset, the behaviors, and the mechanics of elite influence. By the time we're done here, you won't just see a famous athlete. You're going to see a masterclass in how to reshape a team's entire environment.
Okay, let's dive into this. Here's our roadmap for building a really wholesome understanding of how influence actually works. First, we'll redefine real leadership. Then, we'll crack open its core ingredients and explore the specific channels of team influence. After that, we'll map out the leadership feedback loop before finally applying all of this to your own team.
Section 1. Redefining real leadership, moving beyond the armband.
Most people kind of assume leadership, whether it's in football or your everyday workplace, is just about shouting the loudest, demanding the ball, or wearing the captain's armband. Well, it's time for a paradigm shift. There is a massive contrast between what we think leadership is, that highly visible, talking a lot, celebrity hype, and what it actually is. Real leadership, it's about tangible influence. It's about changing the behavior of the people around you and raising the team's baseline level. It is a repeatable system.
I absolutely love this analogy. Think of leadership like the signal tower at a busy port. It doesn't physically move the ships itself, right? But it helps everything around it move with direction, timing, and total confidence. A true leader works the exact same way. Think of those moments where Ronaldo is visibly directing a younger teammate's positioning right before a set piece, literally pointing to where the space is going to open up. He isn't making the run for them, but his direction ensures the whole system operates with absolute clarity. The team doesn't need the leader to do every single thing. They need the leader to make the whole system work better.
Section 2. The core leadership ingredients. The invisible mechanics.
Now, what's really interesting here is that these under-the-surface traits aren't just Ronaldo traits. These are the foundational engines of leadership anywhere. We're looking at belief before proof, unrelaxed standards, visible effort, emotional force, self-belief, and a willingness to be counted on. Let's break a few of the heaviest hitters down.
First up, belief before proof. You see, teams rarely collapse because they suddenly lose their skills. They collapse because their belief shrinks the second pressure rises. This trait acts exactly like a backup generator. When the main power flickers and things start looking grim, this early confidence doesn't magically build a whole new building, but it absolutely prevents the team from going into an emotional blackout. It quietly says, hey, we're still in this. Think of those iconic Champions League matches where his team goes into the second leg down by 2 or 3 goals. The media expects a total collapse, but from the very first whistle, his body language aggressively signals that the game is not over. That early confidence stops the team from giving up before they even start.
Then there are unrelaxed standards and visible effort. Just think of a shopkeeper who relentlessly keeps the counter totally spotless all day, even when the store is completely chaotic, super noisy, and packed with demanding customers. That cleanliness isn't just for show. It constantly, rapidly communicates to everyone that a standard exists here, and it does not vanish just because things got a little hectic. It immediately interrupts the team's natural drift toward taking it easy, showing everyone exactly what serious looks like in real time.
Now, contrast that fast-paced energy with emotional force. Imagine a bridge cable under heavy load. The cable doesn't magically remove the weight of the traffic, but it solidly holds the entire structure together when the stress increases. Ronaldo doesn't disappear when the pressure rises. He absorbs it. In the dying minutes of a tense final, when everyone else is making panicked, rushed passes, he actively steps into those high-stress pockets to receive the ball. He provides a stabilizing emotional center, keeping the team from interpreting difficulty as a total defeat.
When we put this all together, we get a highly precise, repeatable formula. Belief before proof keeps hope alive, unrelaxed standards prevent drifting, visible effort gives a live reference point, emotional force stabilizes, self-belief shapes the atmosphere, and the willingness to be counted on makes responsibility feel genuinely held by someone. It's a systematic approach, not just a loud personality.
Section 3. Channels of team influence. From traits to action.
And this brilliantly illustrates the climax of our explainer. How do personal traits actively change the behavior of the field around them?
Well, think of influence like a really strong magnet placed near loose metal pieces. The magnet doesn't need to physically touch every single piece to make them move, right? Its mere presence changes the entire field of expectations. Leadership produces movement in the group without requiring a direct conversation with every single person.
This influence flows through three very specific channels. Emotionally, teammates feel we're still in this, so confidence naturally rises. Behaviorally, they feel the standard is high, so their own effort sharpens up. And socially, they feel someone is carrying their responsibility. Think of it like a dam holding back water. The sheer pressure of making a mistake can completely paralyze people. But when someone signals they're willing to take on that pressure, teammates stop feeling alone. The burden feels shared. They trust the structure more. They stop hesitating, and they play with so much more clarity.
Section 4. The Leadership Feedback Loop. Influence creates influence.
Let's move to the loop and see exactly how this builds, because leadership is a dynamic system. It's absolutely not a one-way street. Step 1, the leader shows urgency, maybe making a sprinting run back on defense. Step 2, teammates see this and subconsciously adjust their own actions. They run a little harder. Step 3, because everyone's working harder, the whole team stabilizes. Step 4, that improved play confirms that the leadership is real and effective. And finally, Step 5, because it worked, the leader's influence grows, making it even easier for the team to follow them the next time things get tough. It's a continuous, repeating cycle. Repeated standards reorganize a team completely, often without a single word being spoken.
Section 5. Leading your own team. Diagnosing your leadership.
It's time to bring this paradigm shift back to your own world. We need to stop just admiring leadership as some mystical quality and start actively diagnosing it. Here is the ultimate takeaway from this explainer. Great leaders don't only perform, they completely change what performance means for everyone else. It's not about what a single player looks like, it's about what the group becomes because of their presence.
So, what does this all mean for us? Next time you're watching a match or stepping into a board meeting or just evaluating your own team's dynamics, don't ask who's the loudest, don't look for the fancy title. Ask yourself this: who raised the standard when things were falling apart? Who kept belief alive under immense pressure? And who actually changed the behavior of everyone around them? Find the person doing that, and you've found your real leader.